With cheaper smartphones now becoming better in performance and build quality, the Huawei Mate SE is looking to be an early contender for the title of Budget Smartphone King of 2018 at just $250. Question is it worthy of claiming that title? Hey guys, it's Omega Dan, and I'm here once again to help you to decide on your next tech purchase. The Mate SE has a glass front with an aluminium body which wraps around the sides to the back. The phone has a slim form factor, but its design doesn't have a wow impact on me that separates it from even other Huawei phones I've seen. Despite this, the phone feels light and comfortable to hold. Any case designed for the Huawei Honor 7X will fit with the Mate SE, as they are both essentially the same phone and thus have similar dimensions and ports. With the Mate SE, you are getting 4GB of RAM and 64GB of onboard storage with expandable storage of up to 256GB. The power and volume buttons are very tactile and nice to press, and I must give Huawei a shout out for having one of the fastest fingerprint scanners I've ever tried on a phone in this price range. It is insanely fast and unlocks basically every time. And at the bottom we thankfully still have a 3.5mm headphone jack, a single speaker grille, and a micro USB charging port. The screen is a Full HD 6-inch IPS LCD display of 1080 by 2160 pixel resolution with an aspect ratio of 18:9. Comparing this screen with the Quad HD AMOLED display of the Axon 7 from 2016, you can see that the display of the Mate SE is vivid and impressive, with the colors being slightly cooler and arguably more natural looking compared to the more saturated colors and more pronounced darker colors of the Axon 7. This phone contains a Mali T830 GPU and the Kirin 659 chipset, which is more of a mid-range processor and is comparable in performance to the popular Snapdragon 625 processor. But that doesn't mean that it is a slouch in terms of performance. Playing games like Asphalt 8 and Marvel Contest of Champions were fluid and both loaded relatively quickly. Navigating through the phone is seamless with no noticeable lagging of any kind, and switching between apps and using multi-window was a breeze. The phone runs Android 7.0 Nougat with Huawei's EMUI 5.1 running on top. EMUI runs surprisingly well with no noticeable lagging, even though it reminds me a bit, in layout and design, to iOS. Bloatware is minimal with some pre-installed apps from Huawei such as HiCare and Notepad. I actually enjoyed using EMUI as the features in the setting are pretty extensive and useful, such as using fingerprint gestures to take photos and show the notification panel, using the App Twin feature which lets you log into 2 different accounts for the same app, and using the floating dock in which you can quickly access back, home, recent tasks, screen lock, and one-touch optimization. You'll find a decently extensive battery management system which has a power saving and ultra power saving option available, as well as a screen power saving feature in which you can lower the screen resolution to help save power. There's also a built-in virus scanner which is powered by Avast, which I find to be a much welcome and thoughtful feature. You can even add new themes, icon packs, and wallpapers using the EMUI Themes Factory app in the Google Play Store.
Now to me, the longevity of a phone's battery is very essential, and even with the 3340 mAh battery, I managed to get over a day and a half of usage on a single charge. Now don't be expecting like fast charging like Quick Charge 3.0, because even with Huawei's fast charging, you can get from 15 to 100% in a little over 2 hours. It's not the best, but considering that the phone holds a charge pretty well to like well over a day depending on usage, it's a sacrifice that I'm willing to accept.
The Mate SE has both a 16 and a 2 megapixel camera at the back. In the camera app, you can find a nice selection of modes such as panorama, slow motion at 720p resolution, and light painting. There are also a few filters to play around with, and an AR lens mode which frankly won't be replacing your Snapchat filters anytime soon. The camera can only record up to 1080p at 30 frames per second with no optical image stabilization, so you're going to get some shaky recordings unless you have a tripod or a stabilizer. Through camera settings you can change the camera resolution, activate object tracking, do some light image adjustments, and a bit more. In ideal lighting, pictures look sharp and clear with nice detail and dynamic range, with colors looking vibrant. Unfortunately, at low light, you can see a dip in quality as there is more noise and graininess, but that isn't too much of a surprise considering the price point. With wide aperture mode, you can get a shallower depth of field and take close-up shots with a bokeh effect. There's also an 8-megapixel selfie camera, yet for some reason I feel that face shots look a bit out of focus and its beauty effect is more of a hit or miss at times.
Now I have to mention two red flags that I found when I was using the phone. For one, it overheats a lot, and that is due to using certain apps for a long period of time, like the camera app or the YouTube app, or even playing games. And the temperatures reached to a point where I had to put the phone down to let it cool down. And I did notice that the higher temperatures causes the phone to lag a bit. So that's something to keep in mind. Additionally, in landscape mode, you can accidentally easily cover the single speaker grill. And when it's covered, it sounds very tinny. And even so, normally the speaker sounds lacks loudness and bass even on its highest volume. But this is coming from somebody who once had a phone that had two dual speakers and Dolby Atmos for excellent audio performance in terms of speaker quality and headphone jack. So yeah.
The Huawei Mate SE is beyond an interesting phone for the budget price that packs in surprising performance in a sleek form factor with a well above average camera and fluid software and user interface. Now if one can look past the overheating issues at times and the just average speaker quality, then the Huawei Mate SE, to me, has already claimed the title for best budget smartphone of 2018, at least for now.
Thanks again for watching my review on the Huawei Mate SE. Now if you're interested in buying this phone, you can check an affiliate link down in the description below. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so that you'll know when new content is released on my channel. Thanks again, and please remember to live life and stay connected. Till next time.